This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, let us start with this session. We started off with understanding what is the electronic system. We understood that electronic system consists of hardware, firmware, software, and applications. Then what did we discuss? Hardware implementation is done in two styles, that is ASIC and FPG. Then we discussed the difference between ASIC and FPG. Both the goal of ASIC and FPGA is what? To develop the chip, but they differ in the way it is done. Then we understood what is the advantage of ASIC and what is the advantage of FPGA. Where do we use ASIC? Where do we use FPGA? Then we started off with with the ASIC design flow discussion. So there we discussed that the way house construction involves various stages, where the final product is what? The completely constructed house with all the things taken care. Same way in ASIC flow also, the final product is the final, the packaged electronic product. It's like it could be the mobile phone, for example. The ASIC flow involves somewhere between 12 to 15 steps. It could be, if the things are simple, it may get over in 12 steps. Things are complex, it may take more steps, depending upon how we divide the activities. This ASIC flow can be majorly divided into two categories. Let's say house construction. I'll divide it into two stages, I'll tell you. One is till the time you come up with the entire structure. Second is what? Once the structure is done, everything else you do. Something similar to that. In VLSI also, we divide the steps into two major categories: front-end domain, back-end domain. You will realize that as we go forward, you'll realize that front-end domain is more to do with the programming. One second. Is everyone seeing the echo? Those attending online?
No, sir. It is clear, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
If someone is facing the echo, please log off from the session and log into the session again. So as you go forward, you will understand that the front-end domain is more programming oriented job, and you will realize that this work is very close to software work. Software engineer, what software engineer does, this work will be very similar to that, not the same. It's not that there is a software engineer who comes and does this. The work is similar. Like what software engineer does, he understands the specific requirement and implements the algorithm using C or C++ or maybe Java, .NET. Here, instead of C++, we use Verilog, system Verilog kind of languages. But the nature is same. The work nature is same. When it comes to the backend domain, what is backend domain is, by the time you reach here, you develop the Verilog code. But when you buy a mobile phone or any electronic product, do you buy Verilog code? Let's say you go to shop, do you buy Verilog code to use as a mobile phone? No, right? Even to buy a laptop, do they sell Verilog code and use it as a mobile phone? Laptop? No, right? You finally buy a fabricated, packaged product. That process of converting your Verilog code till the time it becomes the chip is called as backend domain. Do you all understand what is front-end domain? Let's repeat again. In front-end domain, you start with the requirements, you develop the Verilog code, and you verify that code also. Okay, that code will behave like your actual design. That entire flow is called as front-end domain. So what is involved in front-end domain? Requirements, architecture, RTL design, RTL integration, and functional verification. Then little bit of DFT, design for testability, they do at the RTL level also. You see here, till this point, you are still working at the Verilog code level only. If you see, everything is you're working at code level only. As I said before, The final goal is to make the hardware. Final goal is not the Verilog code. So that process, starting from here to here, whatever we do, that whole process is called as backend domain. So what is involved in backend domain? Well, let's discuss. The backend domain starts with something called as synthesis. We have already discussed what is synthesis. Can someone tell me what is synthesis? Converting the Verilog RTL code into gate level format. What does RTL stand for? Register transfer level. That process is called as synthesis. I will tell you one important one observation here. If
Sir,
there is no synthesis tool in the VLSI, there is no synthesis tool. No electronic products are possible. Imagine your mobile phone wouldn't be possible if there was no concept of synthesis. Laptop would not be possible because these things are so complex. A human by himself cannot directly convert the code into gates. We always require some kind of softwares which converts the logic, the one which is written like always, if condition, case statement, convert it into gate level format. That is all done by the synthesis tools. Okay. So what does backend domain start with? Synthesis. The next stage is called as DFT at the gate level. There we do DFT at the RTL level also, Verilog level also, at the gate level also. Then you have physical design. Then we do static timing analysis, custom layout, physical verification. Then once physical verification is done, here you have verified the code behavior, here you have implemented it into the chip format. Then they extract something called as GDS2 extraction. What is meant by GDS2? Let's understand. You might have heard it many times. Can someone tell me what exactly is GDS2 is? When we say GDS2, what exactly is it? Let me explain to you. Okay. For if I want to manufacture a chip which is at 3 nanometer, let's say internally we develop a chip which works at which is using 3 nanometer transistors. Where will I go for manufacturing this? I'll send the things to Taiwan. There is a company called as TSMC. Now, this TSMC company requires some input, right? If I tell manufacture mobile phone, will they manufacture? No, right? You need to give some information to them so that they will manufacture that. What is that information do you give them? That file is called as GDS2 file. The file that we give to the fabrication plant or whatever fabrication company so that they will manufacture the chip. That file is called as GDS2. Let's understand a simple analogy. I want to play a movie. What do I need? What format do I need? .mp4, .wmv, some format, right? Same way, when you want to manufacture a chip, you want to give the chip to the fabrication company, that format is called as GDS2. What is that GDS2 will have? Tell me, what do you think GDS2 will be there? Contents of, it will tell if this is the silicon, how much doping should be done here, where the metal will come, where the oxidation should be done, how much oxidation should be done, where the metal gate deposit should happen, where the polysilicon deposit should happen. Graphically, they will tell at this dimension from 10 nanometers from here, you deposit a metal. Another 20 nanometers later, you deposit the silicon oxide. After 25 nanometer, deposit drain. Like that throughout the chip, three-dimensional manner, they'll explain, they will tell in the GDS2 file what to do. At this layer, you deposit oxide. At this layer, you deposit metal. At this layer you deposit gate. Okay, that file is called as GDS2. Have you got an idea? Because only if you give that level of information, if you give very large code, will they be able to manufacture? All right, you need to tell them at a very lowest level, take silicon, first do the etching, then do oxidation, then at this point deposit metal. That information is what you get in the GDS2. Okay, fine. That is what you get after physical verification. Then after GDS2 extraction, what do we do? Chip gets manufactured, because once you went to Taiwan TSMC, they will give you the manufactured chips. Now there is a possibility that the manufactured chip can be good or it can be faulty. Why it can be faulty is, even the laptop you take. If we manufacture 1,000 laptops, what is the chance that all 1,000 laptops will work fine? Will they work fine 100%? No, right? There is always a chance of faulty laptops also, right? 100% there will be faulty laptops. So what they do is, instead of customer telling that this laptop is not working fine, they do the testing before itself. Once they get the chip from the TSMC company, they will do the basic testing of the chip. That checking is called as post silicon validation. Reason is, it is not good for the customer to come and tell, you see, this mobile phone is not working fine, this mobile, okay, working, no one will complain, but not working, they will come and complain. Okay, the problem is, it is too much cost is involved. Recalling something and fixing it or giving a new one is always a very costly process. Rather, what do? They do the testing of each and every chip before it goes into the final product. That concept is called as post silicon validation. Very simple term. Post means what? Afterwards. Silicon means what? Once the silicon has come out. Validation means what? Checking. That's why the term post silicon validation. Once the chip has been manufactured, you do the checking, basic checking. To do the checks, you need some inputs, right? How will you check? Can I see this and tell it's good, it's bad? Can I tell like that? Just looking at the chip, can I say that this chip is good, this chip is bad? No, right? What will I do? Tell me. I will apply some inputs, I'll get some outputs. If the output comes as per my expectation, this is good. If the output comes differently than my expectation, this chip is bad. So that inputs are called as test vectors. TV stands for what? Test vectors. The test vector output of the chip will tell me whether the chip is good, chip is bad. Who provides the test vectors? TFT engineer. There are two people who will provide actually: functional verification engineer, DFT engineer. Both of them provide something called as test vectors. What is the test vector typically consists of? A long series of ones and zeros. 10110. That's why it's called as vector. Okay, vector in programming terminology means multiple bits. Multiple bits are called as vectors. Since it is being used for testing purpose, it's called as what? Test vector. These test vectors are applied on whom? To the chip. The platform used for this purpose is called as tester. There will be a tester on which they place the chip. They apply the inputs. The outputs of the chip will tell whether the chip is good or chip is bad. Okay, what is that we are applying to the chip? Test vectors. Who provides the test vectors to the post silicon validation engineer? DFT engineer, sometimes functional verification engineer. Once you know that chip is good, then it goes for what? Final packaging. Means finally only it goes into the mobile phone actually. Okay. That is called as packaging. Once you have packaging, that is where you have the final product. Okay. So this is all what goes into the product by the time you are using it actually. Okay. Now, as I said, VLSI has majorly two domains: front end domain, back end domain. Let us try to understand little more into front-end domain, because today's session is the front-end training demo session. Let's little more understand deep. Front-end domain work is very similar to software flow. What is meant by similar? What is that software engineer does? He learns languages like C, C++, Java, understands the requirements, develops the algorithm. He comes up with the algorithm to solve a problem. What is the algorithm? And implement that algorithm using C, C++, one of these languages. Same way, what does VLSI front-end domain engineer does? What is meant by front-end domain engineer? RTL engineer, RTL integration engineer, RTL verification engineer. What do they do is, they will use languages like Verilog, SV, UVM. They are very similar. Verilog is similar to C language. System Verilog is similar to C++. Java is similar to UVM. Similar, okay, not same. Then like here they read the requirements, here also we read the requirements. Design specifications, these are called as design specifications. Then implement these requirements using various protocols, like protocols like USB, PCIe, different protocols are there. Okay, if you didn't understood this part, don't worry about much. Okay, all I'm trying to tell is the work is similar to what we do in software. That's what I'm trying to convey here. If you didn't understood this part, don't worry. When we go a little deep into the course, you will understand it. Software only, what is it now? These are the similarities. Then the second part comes, how does software differ from the VLSI? You see, in software there is no backend flow. The software, your final product is what? Code only, C program only, or C++ program only. Do we convert C program into a chip? No, right? In software you don't convert the program into chip. Your final thing is the application only. Whereas in VLSI you have to convert your Verilog code into hardware. So this is the one difference. Second important difference is, in software there is always a concept called as patches. If something goes wrong, you can always release the updated software version. You go to bank, something wrong happened in the bank, you deposited in one account, it went into some other account, that can still be fixed. You just have to change the account and get the put it into a right account. In hardware it's not like that. Once the chip is faulty, you cannot do the open the chip and fix it. You have to go through the entire process again. What is meant by entire process? Again you have to start from RTL coding, RTL integration, verification. That whole process need to be done. So there the RTL verification is very need to be done very carefully. Are you getting the point? Because any bug, even a small bug, you cannot fix it in the chip. You have to go all the way back to RTL level and then redo everything. But in software that is not the case. In software, even if there is a bug, you can always fix it. You release a new version of the software. So backend flow is what? Process of converting code into a chip. Okay. There are pre-synthesis flow, the post-synthesis flow, backend flow, where it starts from synthesis, gate level simulations, DFT, physical design. There are many stages are there in this. VLSI domain, as I said, there are two domains majorly: front-end domain, back-end domain. Based on what the person does,
Good
his
sir.
designation will be given. Yeah, please tell me.
Audible?
Yeah,
So,
yes, I can hear you. Please ask your question. Any questions that you have, Rishav or others, any questions you have, we will answer towards the end of the session. I don't want to start with this, I mean break the flow. I will finish it in another 15-20 minutes, then we will move on to the question and answers. So based on what a person does, he's given with the designation. Person who works on design requirements is called as marketing team. The person who works on architecture is called as design architect. The person who works on RTL coding is called as RTL design engineer. The person who works on RTL integration is called as RTL integration engineer. The person who works on functional verification called as functional verification engineer. Just add the engineer in the end. Okay, DFT engineer. Like that, different job roles are there. Here the only thing is, so many different job roles are there. A VLSI company can have so many different job roles. In software, it's not like that, right? Software only has hardly three roles. One, the person who architects the software, software architect, software developer, software tester. Three roles they call simply. There is no physical design software engineer. There is no DFT software engineer. So here the problem comes because of that. Because in software, when you want to go for a training or even for a job, you have a clarity. You can't become an architect. To start with, you can't become an architect. So you can only become what? Developer or tester. So their decision making is very easy, right? Based on what you want to do, you will learn. Let's say you want to become a tester, you will learn the testing tools, right? Based on developer, you will start learning algorithms, you will learn languages and other things. When it comes to VLSI, the list of categories, the number of roles is lot bigger. Okay, and the thing is, one person does only one work actually. I mean, let's say I worked into functional verification. Throughout my career, I worked only into functional verification. Throughout my career, I worked only into functional verification. I don't even know what is synthesis also at that time. I mean, I know because of exposure to the flow. If you ask me as per my job requirement, do I need to know what is synthesis? I don't need to know. Do I need to know what is physical design and placement? I don't need to know. What is layout? I don't need to know. My role is always was always limited to functional verification. Then I have a person who works into DFT role. His work for last 15 years is only into DFT only, nothing else. That is how VLSI work happens. So you will be into that domain only. Does it mean that your work is always stagnated? No. You will grow in the DFT engineer itself. You can grow different hierarchies and reach the manager level or whatever be the levels, right? It is true for everything here. So that is where you have to choose the right domain of training. To start with, you can't really select I will become sorry, I can't become I will become ST engineer, layout engineer. Rather, we suggest people to decide between front end or back end. So how do you decide between front end or back end? You need to understand the skill set that is required. Which one matches your skill set best? Let's say you are interested in programming kind of job. You have done C kind of programming before some time back and you are comfortable with it. Then you can think of front end domain. Let's say you never did programming or you don't like programming kind of job role, then back end domain could be the option. Okay, something that fits in between is the FPGA kind of work, where you need to learn only Verilog language. When you come to FPGA, you only need to learn Verilog. Remaining will be tool based, because in FPGA also you have to use the tool to implement the your netlist onto the FPGA board, right? So FPGA is a mix of little bit of programming, little bit of tool exposure. Whereas here, these are all mostly programming intensive jobs. These are mostly tool and technology oriented. What is mean by technology is we need to know what is Virat, please be in mute. let's quickly understand what is the typical team distribution. If a company has around 50 people, around 25 to 30 will be into front end domain, around 20 to 25 into back end domain. That means little more into front end domain, around 50 to 60% here, 40 to 45% here, 40 to 50% here. There will be only one or two architects, majorly one architect only. Design team will be smaller actually. Why it will be smaller? Because they reuse the designs. Whatever was used, let's say this mobile phone is there. Prior to this mobile phone, there was another version of the same mobile phone, right? Will there be 100% change between the previous mobile and this mobile phone? No, right? There will be a lot of similarities. Because of that, design involves reuse. They reuse the existing designs and develop the new design. Because of that, you don't need a lot of people to redo the things again. Whereas when it comes to verification, even though they are reusing, you cannot afford to take any chance. Like say while reusing, some bug has happened, some mistake has happened. If you don't detect that mistake, that will come into the phone finally. A mistake that has happened will come into the phone and this phone will not work fine. So there they keep a bigger team for verification purpose. Actually, every company you go, you will find a lot of people working into functional verification, which constitutes almost 30 to 40%. What does it mean? Let's say you go to Qualcomm, randomly you pick any VLS engineer, you ask what do you do? 30 to 40% chance that he will be a functional verification engineer. 30 to 40% that he will be surely functional verification engineer. Then comes the backend domain, where around 20 to 25 people will be there. DFT around 2 to 5. Physical design is where again you need a lot of people, because they need to implement each and every block. What is meant by physical design is planning the area. I told you, right? In FPGA, we don't have so much effort, because in FPGA already you have the gate array. You have to put your gates onto the array. Whereas in ASIC, you have an empty paper where you have to plan everything yourself. That planning is called as physical design. What is meant by planning? If I have a table and I have to arrange 50 things on the table, where will I place my pen? Where will I place my laptop? Where will I place my notes? And then doing the connections, everything is all what is done in the physical design kind of work, right? Then you have static timing analysis. There will be something called as setup time and hold time checks, which is done during the static timing analysis. There will be around 3 to 5 people on that. Then finally you have layout team, which will be 3 to 5. I just gave a very rough distribution. All I was trying to tell you is that there will be more people into functional verification, there will be more people into physical design. So naturally, where the more opportunities will be there? Functional verification and physical design. But again, having said that, there will be a lot of admissions into these courses also. So everything gets naturally adjusted. That means DFT has less people, less requirements. Admissions will be less in the DFT. Uh, Something like that. And there are some domains where companies don't hire the freshers for some roles. Let's say STA is there. Very critical activity actually. STA is a very critical activity. There they will only go for all the experienced people only. You have to gain some experience. Before that, only then you can do the STA work. So there will be such works like architect is there. Will they give it to a fresher? No, right? It has to be highly experienced person. So there are only few job roles which are open for freshers. Okay, and mostly it happens into functional verification, DFT, physical design, and layout. There are around 4 to 5 domains where the freshers are mostly hired into.
Sir, design verification and functional verification both are same, sir.
Both are same, yes. Now let us talk about the mode of training. Okay, as you know, currently the mode of training is what? Offline, online, and the training is available in full week where you can do completely online also, 100% online, you can do 100% offline, you can do in hybrid model also. What is hybrid model? 2 months you attend from home, then you come here, attend for 1 month offline, again you go back home, attend. That is all possible because every session is done at same time for online, same time for offline. For student attending online, since I don't get up from the laptop, for its same experience for him. For offline students, since I use the laptop screen to draw everything, it's the same experience. So that way we make sure that we give flexibility to the student, because sometimes you want to attend from home, that is possible. Okay, there is no restriction, nobody even going to question you why you are attending offline, why you are attending online. Okay. In all these modes of training, you get recorded video access for 10 days for every session. Generally sessions tend to be longer, at least 3 hours or 4 hours. Recently what we started doing is, in a day we are doing 2 sessions. Morning we are doing the 2 hours theory session, 2-3 hours theory session. Post lunch we are doing 2 hours to 3 hours lab session. Okay. Around 4 to 5 hours, not exceeding that, because beyond 5 it's difficult for a student to focus. Okay. uh, in all those cases we are giving recorded video of the session to the student. Second mode of training is weekends only training. There also you can attend online, offline, or hybrid model. In the weekends only training, access to all the recorded videos for entire course duration. See, someone is asking, whatever is being done for 6 days in a year, can it be done in 2 days? Thing is, we give access to all the recorded videos that student has to watch during the weekdays or any time. Then over the weekends we will be having the dedicated sessions. Of course it is not possible to do entire thing, right? Whatever I did for full week, is it possible to do in weekends only? Not possible. But the expectation is that student would go through the recorded videos and cover the things. Because if I have to teach each and everything to the same depth, what will take me 8 months regular weekdays, it will take me 15 months in weekends, right? If I have to do at the same depth. So rather, what is the solution we give to the student? You go through entire videos, you have access to each and every video. Over the weekend we will discuss all the things again, whatever topics you want to revise. Assignments, labs will be supported during the weekends. Even during the weekdays there will be a dedicated person with whom you can connect and get your doubts clarified. So weekends only means, doesn't mean that you get support only on weekends. You can get support even during the weekdays also. Irrespective of mode of training, okay, every student has a dedicated mentor for any kind of technical support. So we will assign a dedicated mentor. Whenever you have a doubt, you can connect with the mentor and get your doubts clarified. You see, in full week you probably won't find the need much, because every day there is a live session. If you don't understand something today, you can clarify it next day. Whereas weekends only, this is very important, because let's say you're studying some topic on Monday, you don't have to wait till Saturday to get your doubts clarified. In between itself you can connect. Coming to RTL design verification training, the one which we are doing now, the demo session, all these names are same. Whether I use design verification training, whether I use ASIC verification training, whether we use functional verification training, all these names are exactly same. Okay, let us now talk about functional verification training. I told you that this is one domain in the industry where there are a lot of job opportunities. Even today, when people are talking about job cuts in software and across the domains, there are opportunities. Actually, there is a hiring happening. Just because they have a requirement, they won't hire just anyone. They will do some screening, and based on that only they will hire, right? Okay. So but anyway, without, we'll talk about that also. Let's understand the course structure. This course goes for full 8 months. Nothing like 2 months internship certificate, nothing like that. It will go for full 8 months. Reason it goes for full 8 months is, the students who come to the institute, at least in 60 to 70% of the cases, lack lot of fundamentals. If I start with, don't take wrongly, if I start with a different level of category of student, if I filter out 20 people and do the training, I can do the same 8 months in 6 months. Same 8 months content, I'll finish it in 5 to 6 months, because when I filter out, they will pick concepts very easily. They come with a lot of motivation. They'll spend night out, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. They will do that homework, and next day they will come readily prepared for the next topic. There it's possible to cover in 6 months. Whereas when we have a heterogeneous collection of people, where people are coming with different expertise levels, we have to spend more time to cover each topic. Okay. How this 8 months is implemented or done? We will have 6 days per week. That is full week training. Sunday will be off, and 4 hours per day. Generally, it could be 4 hours, 5 hours. Recently, what we have been doing is we have been dividing this into two sessions. Morning one session, post lunch one session. Morning is mostly theory session. Post lunch is mostly the lab session. Recorded session, I said. The training is divided into 3 phases. Phase one, which goes for 2.5 months, during which phase two goes for 3 months, phase three goes for 2.5 months. During the phase one, we focus on advanced digital design and Verilog. This goes for around 3 weeks. This goes for 8 weeks, which is around 11 weeks, which is 2.5 months. Then, initially, when I start Verilog, we teach GVim text editor, some basic Linux commands. Linux operating system, if you have done anytime, you might have studied basic things like what is ls, what is cd, what is pwd. There are some simple commands which you will be using during the training. That basic exposure you gain during the initial training. But major topics will be what? Not the Linux and not the GVim. Major topics will be Verilog. Major topics will be advanced digital design. Second thing will be system Verilog and UVM. Then we cover little more into Linux commands and soft skill training. See, soft skill training is not like done in specific month. It's a regular ongoing process. We have one dedicated English teacher in the institute. I mean, soft skill teacher, I would rather say. Why is it required is, one is two things are there. One is knowing the subject, knowing how to explain the subject, how to communicate, right? 70% of the people who join into the institute are from non-metro backgrounds. I mean, they come from places other than Bangalore, Hyderabad, or cities, right? So they always have a issue with the communication skills, natural, right? Even I had, most of you will have. So and that's how it happened, right? After 7th 8th class, you are always focused on science and maths only, so you never learned English grammar also, to that matter. Once you done with 7th class, there was no English grammar. So there many people miss that basic grammatical things. So there, that's where we have a dedicated teacher who takes only 2 hours per week, 1 or 2 hours per week, just to help you with the basic English, basic communication skills, and how to simple things, right? How to speak, how to explain yourself in an interview, okay, how to do presentations, those kind of things, okay. And many times that's the difference actually. When you go for an interview, difference between getting a job, not getting a job, is your skills. How do you explain the things? And here you don't have to wait for 8 months to get a job. If you are good, your placement support starts immediately after 5.5 months. Because when you go for a job, these are the essential skill sets. These are the only essential skill set from a job. Attempting interview, these are the skill set. Digital design, you should be very good, Verilog, system Verilog, and UVM. As soon as it is done, you will start getting the placement support. Then what is phase three? Phase three is meant for industry standard projects, where we will be doing some projects based on standard protocols like AXI, AHB, APB, Ethernet. Then we'll also teach you Python scripting, some SOC concepts. So this is all what is planned for 8 months. Anything we try to reduce, it becomes a problem. I mean, if I try to do digital design in 2 weeks, it becomes a problem. If I try to do Verilog in 6 weeks, it's a problem. Reason is, in Verilog we just don't teach the language. Actually, I told you, right, Verilog language is very, very simple. How simple is it? Is you have to learn only 20 keywords in Verilog. You take the most complex Verilog code, it will only have 30 keywords. Everything is repetition of always, initial, begin, end, if, case, always, like that only. So learning the language is very easy, Verilog wise. But what is the difficult part is, given a design, let's say if I give you asynchronous FIFO, how will you write the Verilog code for that? How will you write the test bench for checking the asynchronous FIFO behavior? Like that, if I give you different designs, how will you implement the code? How will you verify it? That is where we spend good time. Okay, 8 weeks. I mean, that is how we came up with. I mean, our intention is never to extend the training, because at the end it's negative. I mean, it's a problem for me. I have to manage the training rooms. I have to manage the trainers, right? And that's both are important for me, right? That is, in many institutes, what happens is they are limited by the training rooms. I mean, actually, in all these businesses, training room makes a significance. There was a time where we started in Noida, because we couldn't manage the rental cost, we closed it. Nothing else. We couldn't manage the rental expense every month, we closed it. That was the only reason. Okay, so here fortunately we have enough space where I can run a batch even for 10 months. The space we have, it allows us to run for 10 months. What is point is not that I want to keep you here for 10 months. Idea is, when you come here, when you are going out of the institute, the companies, when they pay you the salary, right, let's say 30,000, 40,000 per month or 50,000, they pay you because you have to contribute in the work. They don't want you to hire you and sit with you, type this, open this file, close this file, do this. Do you think anyone will do that kind of guidance step by step? They want you to come where you work independently. Many times the level at which people come, uh, that achieving that is not possible in 5-6 months. That's the fact. Okay, that's the fact. Because if your engineering was very good, first year, second year, everything was very good with assignments and some your teacher supporting the assignments and you doing everything, then this training was not required at all. Because that gap is there, here you need a much longer duration. For example, system Verilog, I spent 2 months, full 2 months actually. I know one institute, a big institute also, let's say they finish it in 1 month also. There you see the real difference actually, that spending a 2 months for a system Verilog kind of critical subject brings that level of additional confidence to you. Okay, okay. Now phase 1, phase 2, here what we are learning, it helps in getting the job actually. I mean, it helps you most of the time clear the job, because interviews will be focused on Verilog, SV, digital and UVM. Where is the phase 3 will help? It helps you do well in the job. When you go to the job, your work is not always just Verilog, your work is not system Verilog. Your work is about understanding the design, understanding the project, understanding the flow. That is something you learn during this industry standard project. For that also, we make sure that we give you enough time. Actually, we spend enough time to prepare you for that. Okay. The good part here is that as soon as you are done with it, you will start applying for the jobs. Even if you, during this time, even if you get a job, you can switch to weekends only mode of training. Other training are also planned in the same manner. We generally divide the training into 3 phases. During each phase, we will be conducting the evaluation test. Let's say during this phase, we'll be conducting test for advanced digital design. We'll be conducting the test for Verilog. If the person doesn't do well, I mean very poorly, then we make them repeat the course. I personally, or as an institute, we have been trying our best effort to make sure that each person is given attention. Attention means what? In a batch of 30 people, there could be 10-15 people who are able to pick up the things when I'm teaching. There could be 5 people who don't know anything also. If I teach K-map, they don't understand what is K-map. If I write truth table, they don't know what is truth table, what is left side, what is right side of the truth table. For them, we do conduct dedicated additional sessions. Now the question is, sometimes they attend, sometimes they take advantage of it, sometimes they don't take advantage of that. I mean, we tell 6 o'clock, we'll arrange a session for you. You come. Person doesn't come. So what do? We stop. My point is, based on your level of learning, we try to make sure that we support everyone. I mean, my personal interest would be to support all the 30 people in a batch. Let's say if there are 30, all 30, depending upon their level of expertise. If someone is really not up to the mark, I don't leave it. Frankly, I don't leave it. We try to tell him, come, you get the support. That is where idea is to bring them up to a level, because many times everyone is smart. Everyone, I mean, I've seen students who are joining, they have expertise in many other things. Someone is a very good painter, someone has expertise in some other thing. Okay, going by that, everyone has some level of expertise in everything. It's just that they need that initial push up to for them to learn that fundamentals properly. So we put our best effort to make sure that you come up to that level. But this course requires proactiveness from the student. I mean, where you don't understand something, you need some support, you have to proactively take the support by talking to the institute doesn't deny any support. If you say I need a dedicated session on something, will not say no, will not arrange, attend tomorrow only. We'll find some way to address your request, solve your request. Okay. uh, FPGA is also, I think, you can have a FPGA session where, I mean, those who are interested, you can get that. It's again divided into 3 phases. The first phase is where it is common as functional verification course. This is important because even up to 2.5 months, you will be able to decide whether you want to get into functional verification domain or whether you want to get into FPGA domain, because the flow differs only after 2.5 months. Uh, I mean, the
Hello,
trainer
sir.
will give you a very, yeah.
Any weekend batch is available, sir?
For which course?
Functional verification, sir.
It is available, yes.
Sir, what is the timing for that?
Timing typically will be functional verification weekend batch. It mostly goes for 9:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. This will be the schedule. If there is a need, we can even have a lab session in the afternoon, if required, as required. But those who are attending weekends only training, our expectation is that we will be giving you access to all the course videos which are from one of the previous batches. The trainer will tell you, you have to go through these videos during this week. The following weekend, the trainer will be discussing the same topics again, and he will be supporting you with the assignments and labs. Again, if you ask me, will it be done in the same depth as full week? No, it's not possible, right? Where we are spending more time during the weekdays, less time. But one advantage of weekends only is weekends will have less participation, hardly 3 people. Tell me what I will take to teach 30 people. I can teach the same thing in a half a time for 3 people, right? That's what typically happens in the weekend batch. Yeah, is it clear to you?
Yes, sir. And this is online, sir, like or offline?
Uh, See, mostly online. Why it is online is most of the people who attend weekends only training are working professionals. They are comfortable with working from home or connecting from home. But these days, what we have been doing is some students had a specific request that they want offline training. For them, we are arranging some dedicated trainer at the institute to support them with the offline sessions also.
Okay, so like in
Even though your
weekdays there
weekend,
is
you
no
will still
class
get the
available
offline
after
session.
6 p.m. Means that in the weekdays, is it any possible like class after like after 6 p.m. or 7 p.m.? Is it possible?
Weekdays, weekdays you're
Yes.
telling. See, if everyone requests
Yes.
it, we can do that. Let's say there are,
Actually, that is very helpful actually because after
uh,
office, like lot of people can I mean attend the class from let's say 7 or 6 to 9, or it would be better actually if it is possible.
I'll tell you. Let's say if 5 people enroll for weekends only training. If all five or at least 4 people agree, then we will go for even weekdays evening schedule, because we have few trainers who can who can support after the working hours also, who can, let's say, do session from 7 to 8:30. That is also possible, but we'll go by a majority decision. If let's say only one says I need weekend, I need evening session, and remaining 4 5 people say no, I only want weekend, then we'll go with only weekends. We'll go by the majority decision. But as per the regular weekdays, there is no option. It has to be the time suggested by the institute only. Is that clear to you?
Uh, okay, sir. Thank you.
But to answer your question, yes, we have the people who can do the training even during the evenings. Even if it is 3 4 people, our trainer will still do the training for you.
Yeah, in that case, sir, evening 7 to 8:30, it is a timing or what? What is the
No, see,
timing?
there is no such fixed thing, right? Trainer, if he has to do, he will start at 6:30. He can do even at 7:30, 7 o'clock. Mostly, the trainer is a working professional. For him also, the same schedule will work as it is for you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, sir,
Yeah, yeah,
sir, this functional verification is of like course you are taking in two types, like for freshers different, for experienced people different.
yeah. You are
So, sir,
asking
like
what is the difference?
yes, sir, what is the yeah, yeah.
Okay. See, the difference is, let me explain here itself. Experience course will roughly go for 6 months duration, 6 to 6.5 months, 6 months. Okay. Mostly it's a 2 days per week course, depending upon. I mean, I'm assuming experience means someone is working professional. So there, phase one directly starts with system Verilog and UVM. That means this itself is not there. Actually. Only thing is it goes for 4 months actually. Reason is UVM main plus UVM advanced is there. In case of fresher course, we only do UVM main course. In case of experienced, we do UVM main plus UVM advanced also. Because of that, the duration goes from 3 months to 4 months. Phase two
So,
will be
sir,
2.5. Yeah.
so sir, like, so sir, like if I want to join the fresher one, but I want to like go in UVM advance also, like not just main part. So, is it
You
possible or
need to
not?
pay additionally for UVM advanced. That
Okay,
part, there will be a cost specific to UVM advanced. That only that you should pay.
okay, sir. Okay,
You got it right. It goes for 6.5 months. Again, you can
okay.
either attend 6 days per week or weekends. Both are possible. 4 months of system Verilog, 2 months of system Verilog, 2 months of UVM, and 2.5 months of industry standard projects. This is common, you can see. What is differing is you're doing additionally this thing, but you are not doing Verilog and digital design.
Sir, can you explain about the course fee also, sir? What is
Course
this
fee.
course
See,
fee for the?
I think I would suggest you talk to, see, the 6 months, this 8 months course is charged at 63,000 plus GST. For more information about what is the fee and everything, I would suggest you talk to our manager. His number is, you can call him after the session, 9986194191. So please talk to my manager, our manager. He will explain you all the details regarding the installment policy, when to pay, and all those things.
Oh, installment is also available, sir.
Yes, of course, it is available.
Okay.
Generally, we go with the standard policy of 3 installments. I won't talk about DFT much, but I hope you got a very basic idea about DFT. What is DFT is about? When the chip is
Uh,
manufactured,
sorry, yeah, sorry for interrupting. Actually, I wanted to know for the UVM advanced course. So once
yeah.
we complete this course, the functional verification for fresh, then only after we will go for the advanced, or we can do in between.
No. See, UVM advanced can only be done once you are done with UVM essential. Let's say come back here. After this, you do UVM advanced,
Acha, so okay.
not in
Then
between.
we need to talk to someone, and we can just pay and go for the UVM advanced course.
Yes, exactly. You can talk to our manager on the number I have given.
Hmm.
He'll help you with the cost and other details.
Okay.
Yeah, if
See,
you
if
don't
you are
want to
a
join
fresher,
this,
you don't need UVM advanced. Okay, only UVM main is sufficient for 95% of all your requirements. Yeah, any other questions?
yeah, could you please just complete the FPG?
FPGA, I have explained it. What else do you want to know? I mean, I would suggest if it is FPGA, let me arrange a dedicated session with you for you with our trainer. He will help you go deep into FPGA. What is done? What kind of projects will be done? All that. Is that okay?
I just want to know like whether the FPGA is having more value in the future, like or else for the
I will explain.
um,
I will take another 5 minutes and I'll be done with my topics. Then I'll take all the question and answers. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So DFT also those who are interested in DFT, please attend today's session at 4:30 p.m. I think you might have already got the link to attend that session. Okay. So there, let the trainer explain you everything in deep. What is DFT? Why DFT is done? And what is the DFT course structure and everything. Okay. The
Sir,
course
I
does.
have a question.
1 second, give me 5 minutes. I'll finish off. Then I'll take all your question and answers. Okay, 5 minutes. I'll finish
Understood.
off.
Okay.
So you have one flexibility in the course. Okay, first flexibility is you join the course, you try for 10 days time. Uh, if you feel that that's where you have installment option also. Where after 5,000 or after the first installment, you feel that VLSI is not your domain, you can always quit. I'm not sarcastic here. Really no sarcasm. Really no sarcasm. If you think that you are not able to cope up with the VLSI domain, you can quit up to that time, right? Then you don't have to pay the remaining amount. Nobody is going to ask you join. You have to pay. Then only interest. Please be in mute. Those attending online, please be in mute. Okay.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So you do have a flexibility. First flexibility is I wish you don't, stop the course, but you should be open. I mean, if you feel that it's not setting for your kind of skill set, what you want to learn, the course is not offering, you are okay to quit. Second is, if you feel that the domain you have selected is not the right one and you want to move to a different domain, you can always switch up to 2 months. You can do even after 2 months also, but with a some additional cost. Let's say after 3 months you can come and say that no, I don't want functional verification, I want to move to FPGA. There will be a small deduction per month basis will deduct. And okay, it went off. Okay, and now what happens here is initial 1 month is common for everyone, right? Initial 1 month you learn digital design, Linux commands, GVim, so that's common. Only if you switch after 2 months, 1 month is what you lose means you don't lose actually, you'll be joining into the other batch after in the next batch actually, so that you continue after 1 month of that batch actually. This is important option because many times you join because someone told you to take that course, and after joining that after 2 months you figure out that it is not the right domain for you. We wanted to give that flexibility for you to switch that domain.
It will
Uh,
be like from front end to back end.
any domain, anything you can choose, anything. I mean, we want institute to be flexible to the student perspective. Not it should not run for my convenience. It should run as per the student convenience as much as possible.
Hello.
Yeah. Uh,
So you will be taking all the classes, or any other trainer will be there?
no, no, I said around 50 to 60% I'll be doing. The other, there will be other sessions which other trainers will do. If, for example, personally, I have to do everything, it's not possible. Then I will also tell you some scenarios where I did training. People said, no, I don't want you. There were, I mean, recently they said, no, we want other trainer only. We said, fine, whomever you want, we'll give you that only. Right? Because they were used to his teaching from very long. They felt I was going a bit fast, frankly. So then I said, okay, let the trainer only do that. Okay. Uh, Preparing for a job, coming to preparing for job. I mean, I these days I'm been consciously uh, going very slow. I'm trying to make sure that what I personally do is I go to each person and I check whether they are doing. I make a note of people names, and then where I figure out that this person requires support, I strictly make him take that support. Uh, that is because institute is not the chairs, not the rooms, not the building. What is institute? It's the people who represent students, who represents the institute, right? You go out, you represent the institute. So how you learn the subject is what the institute is about. So that's what I
And what about placement?
strictly believe. Yeah, please ask.
What about placement?
What about
Placements?
placement? I will also talk about that. Just give me 5 minutes, let me finish it up. I'll come to that topic also. Okay. uh, just to complete this part, uh, what is the difficult part, I mean, of whole training is lot of things happen in a 8 months time. Actually, in the 8 months of training, what you learn is probably equivalent to what you learn over a 2 years of your btech. Actually, I mean, you will realize when you get into the subject, you'll realize that you would have learned things on par with almost 2 years of your btech courses. Okay. uh, that applies for everything. Let's say you do 3 weeks of digital design course, that you do it as a one semester course in your btech. The amount of things we do in digital here will be lot more than what you do during your btech. That applies for every subject. Reason is, in your btech you are learning mostly from a perspective of getting a percentage. You want to get 80% or 75%. Here it's not the percentage driven, it is driven by requirements of the company. That in company you should be able to go and work on a job. That cannot be done with a half preparation. It requires a in-depth learning. So there we try to make sure that each topic is done in depth. Okay. uh, yeah. Then we have a performance tracking mechanism where we, I mean, we don't tell you are good, you are average. We internally classify a person into good, average and poor category. Then we, how do we get that categories? Based on their performance in the assignments, performance, I mean, how they attend the classes, evaluation test, presentations and mock interviews. Then idea is to support everyone, not just, please be in mute. Manas, please be in mute. Okay. Yeah, idea is to support everyone at a required level. Let's say I told you some time back that someone doesn't understand what is k-map. Okay, I have to explain him at a same level, but I cannot do all the things in the class, right? Same class, because other people will start feeling it boring. Okay, if I start teaching what is k-map, what is each box, what is min term at very basic level, then we do conduct a dedicated session. The only one thing I want to repeat here, only one thing to repeat here is the student has to be proactive in getting the support, right? Because if there are 500 students in an institute at a point, I cannot focus on each and every student. Student has to proactively get. Manas, please be in mute. Trust me, it doesn't generally happen during regular session. Today maybe it's the first time they are new to the application. Okay. Next, what is the final goal of 32, and we do create one dedicated WhatsApp group for each student, where all whatever support request you need, you post in that group, then there will be someone to respond back to you. If it is technical related query, there will be a trainer. If it is non-technical, there will be an admin who will support with your request. What is the final goal of this 32 weeks of training? Is enable you to work independently in the job. When you get into a company, as I told you before, the company don't want someone to sit with you and explain you to do everything, and the company doesn't want you to spend again 6 months to train you again, right? Correct, right? If they spend, then there is no need to train from a hire from an institute. They could call hire from a college. So idea is to fill that requirement. Okay. uh, it's a collective effort. Student has to understand that it's a collective effort. Just joining the course doesn't guarantee the job. Joining the course and putting the right effort is what guarantees the job. Okay. Anyway, I mean, I don't want to say testimonials and all that. Let's move on to the question and answers. Any questions you have? Now those who are
Yes.
attending on, yeah, please ask, or you can also post your questions in the chat window. I will take out all the questions and I'll answer one by one. Those who want to ask also ask. That's also fine.
Yeah, it's
So
about
I
like,
was looking at,
please. Yeah,
yeah,
please
can I
go
go
ahead.
ahead?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Later on.
So I was looking at your course roster at your website. So there's a functional verification course for experienced professionals.
Yeah.
So does that course also contain the module for functional verification interview preparation? Because that looks like a different course altogether.
I will explain that. Okay. Uh, Generally what we do is, his question is, I'll explain you. We have one course called as functional verification. This course actually, I think another 15-20 minutes will be done. Okay. Interview preparation course is there. Okay. This, as you see, is in a different unit. Generally what we do is, the people who do our regular functional verification course, uh, we offer this course at 50%. In some cases we said we'll waive it off if you attend all sessions. In some cases, once the training is done, I told everyone, you attend all the sessions regularly, I'll waive off that also. It is to motivate them. But if you ask me, does that policy apply always? Probably no. But what is the minimum commitment I will give is, if you do this course, let's say functional verification for freshers course, if you want to do this interview preparation training separately, let's say it costs us 8,000 plus GST. Instead of that, we'll charge 4 plus GST only. Reason is, anything that you give for free, value won't be there, right? You don't value that material. Actually, that's very valuable. Actually, many, right now I have a batch where 40 plus people attend. All are experienced only, and mostly the questions in asked in product companies. I mean, we collected a lot of questions and we are doing almost a 60 hours of course. If I just give 60 hours of course for free, people don't value it. They think, they don't go through the course also, or they don't attend that also. So there we have to charge new. Then I said, you prepare, I'll do an interview. If you perform very basic level, I'll refund that fee also. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I hope it answers your question.
Yes, it does. I have a follow-up question with that.
Yeah.
So I'll be attending the experienced functional verification course.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, please tell me. Yeah.
and experience part, so the interview
Yeah.
part. So
Yeah.
inside interview part, there are certain things that I need to get trained on.
I
So
have a question.
while the course is running, while
Yeah.
the verification, functional verification course is running, can I have access to the interview course also? Is that possible?
It is possible. See, once you have enrolled for the course and once you have paid the fee according to the whatever I said, whatever course access you want, we can give you that access.
Okay, understood.
At the end, I
Perfect.
told you, right?
Yep.
I will not go by my convenience. I will go by your convenience. Let's say if you feel that getting the access to interview preparation course from day one will help you, we'll do that.
Okay, understood. Yeah, that answers my question then. So let us say that I attend the first sessions of uh,
You attend
experienced
first session.
professionals, and you some
Yeah.
sessions of experienced professionals course, and then you understand that okay, I may fall into the criteria of the 50% discount, which is very generous of you. So that can be taken up also.
Yeah, I said it is possible even for experience. See, at the end, when you are already paying a big amount of money, 40, 50,000 or more than that, then I don't want to charge you entire again 8 plus tax, because lot of
Yes,
things are common actually. Lot of things are common, so we don't want to charge you double again for that. So idea is to keep it at a cost where you will know the value of it and you will utilize it.
understood, understood. Okay. I do understand the value part. You have explained it well. That answers my question. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. Does the institute see, someone asked, I don't know who is asked, okay, I don't want to point out, this is the kind of English that need to be improved. Okay, shall institute provide, I'm not saying anything negative against the person. I'm telling you that this kind of English needs to be improved. That is where I said our English teacher will help you, because when you go to the job, once you join the job, your English grammar, everything need to be as per the thing. You cannot say that I came from a village, so I don't know English. That doesn't work. Okay, everything works on what you are. I mean, how do you do? They don't, people don't bother. There's nothing like you came from village, so they will give you lenience, nothing like that. Okay, so again, the person who asked, I appreciate him because he asked. But then we will be having a sessions to take care of these kind of grammatical things also. Those who are from Bangalore, Hyderabad, they don't require, because they're already fine with the basic English skills. Okay. Yes, we do provide books for each and every material. Even for online students, we will send the material over post. That policy we have started recently. I mean, till few months back we didn't had. Now we started printing, and we have been giving the materials to each and every student in the institute.
And one more
Okay.
thing, could you please explain me the difference between the functional verification as well as the FPGA, ASIC, as well as the FPGA? So, in what criteria we need to just take the course for FPGA, and what is the
See,
additional benefit we get it?
okay.
Hello, sir.
No, no, I would suggest those who are attending online, please post your questions in the chat window. I'll take it out, because it's easy for me to take out your questions and post it and answer that. Those in the classroom, if you don't have any questions, you are free to leave the session. I mean, if you don't have any questions, anyone, first let me address in classroom any questions you have. Right, you are okay to leave. I mean, nothing for me to feel bad. If you are, I mean, because sitting for 3 4 hours at a stretch is very difficult. If you are okay, you are okay to leave. But if you want to attend sometime and you want to talk to me after the session, I will be available. Okay, so let me answer this difference between ASIC and FPGA from a job perspective. Okay, my understanding is that FPGA domain requires intermediate level of programming expertise, because you need to learn only Verilog. You don't need to learn in depth of system Verilog and UVM, because mostly design aspects they focus on, and you need to learn the backend flow, like the floor plan, power planning, timing closure, those things. So FPGA is a domain where you have to have that little bit of programming expertise as well as the tool expertise. Okay. Whereas when it comes to ASIC, you will have to specifically choose one domain. Either you are into design, RTL design domain, RTL verification domain, or physical design domain. So there you cannot get the entire flow exposure. You will not get the entire flow exposure the way you get in the FPGA. And as per my experience, getting a job in FPGA is relatively easier compared to ASIC, because it has less competition compared to
So the opportunities are
opportunities will be there in the market. I mean, it's not everything is not made only using ASIC only, right? There are many things which are done using FPGA also. If you go to Boeing, they will not use ASIC; they will only use FPGA. There are, if you go to any kind of
Okay,
defense
sir.
companies or defense suppliers, any company that supplies products to the defense companies, let's say HAL is there. HAL doesn't manufacture everything. They have some suppliers. Those suppliers will work only on FPGA. Okay. So that way, if you ask whether FPGA will have less salaries, very less salaries compared to ASIC, no, they have matching salaries with ASIC. Okay. Now, when it comes to ASIC, that's what, as I said, if you learn Verilog, learning VHDL is not going to be a big effort. Maybe 3-4 weeks of additional effort. ASIC, as someone said, learn VHDL also. ASIC, you have to be, when you are getting into ASIC, you have to be very particular about which domain you are going to get into. Front end domain, back end domain. If it is front end domain, it requires more of programming expertise, right? If it is back end domain, no programming, but more tool and technology expertise. Okay. That much, as far the job is concerned, my observation is around you complete 80% plus assignments in the course, you do get a job. You don't need to do any research and development. You don't need to do any inventions. Just simply follow the trainer. Complete around 80% of the course assignments. That
Sorry,
brings you to a level where
sorry for
company
interrupting.
feels. No, let me complete. At 80% of the assignments when you do, you personally will feel that confidence, because I'm not talking about one day or 1 week. I'm talking about a period of 6-7 months. You're continuously learning the things and completing the assignments. You will feel the confidence yourself. Now you ask me, I spent 4 years in BTech, why I don't have that confidence? Probably it was not driven by the assignment. It was mostly driven by questions and memorizing the things and then doing it. That never gave you the chance to explore the problem solving approach. Here the assignments will be focused more on problem solving. It could be related to the programming, it could be related to physical design. Any topic will be more focused on programming. That will give you the required confidence.
Excuse me.
Okay, what
Yeah.
about the placements?
Hello, sir.
I
What
heard
about?
that VLSI Guru was just being just
You can type in your question. There is a echo in your voice.
no, I think someone has been just unmuted, so due to that. Yeah, and what the thing is, the what about the placements? I heard that from VLSI Guru, the placement team will visit the VLSI Guru, which is is it
I
right? Or else
and I didn't
do we
listen the
need?
last part clearly. Yeah. From the
Sorry.
VLS Agri, you said something.
Yeah, yeah. The placement team will just visit
No, no,
VLSI Guru and
when he asked that only, there is echo.
now.
Please type in your question. It's easy. When you say that specific word, there is echo happening.
I mean, like,
You feel right. You can see.
yeah, yeah, someone just be unmuting, so due to that
Yeah. Please
disturbance was
ask.
just been
Yeah.
happening. Yeah, yeah. And what the thing is, the VLSI Guru, I heard the placements team who are just being from the product-based companies, they will just visit VLSI Guru and they select the candidates from the institute itself. Whether the things will just
And no, no.
get
How it
worked
works
out.
is, I'll tell you one thing. Let's be very frank. Uh, uh, First thing is product companies. See, there are two types of companies, as you know, product companies and service companies. Product companies hires lot of times from IITs and IITs. Let's say right now, for example, I'm planning for a training for Samsung. Okay, there they have hired 50 people from IITs and NITs. If I ask them come and hire from here, maybe they'll hire 3-4 people, but I will go and train them only, those hired people. What is their point is, they probably have more confidence on hiring from those institutes. Uh, in the case, I mean, yes, if you ask me, there is no placement happens in product companies, not like that. There are people do get placed. Like there are placements that happen in Micron, Microchip, maybe one or two few in Samsung and on semiconductors. Okay, there are few placements do happen, but lot of placements in the institute happens into services companies. But services company doesn't mean that you will be staying in the service company for throughout your career. You can always switch the domain. There are many students in the institute who might have joined into services companies, but during the boom time, they would have always moved into product company. I mean, let's say if someone is there in Qualcomm, he's not always from a specific college only. many people from other services companies would be there in the Qualcomm also. So in your case, you should not particularly come saying that I want to get into product company. You should be open to getting into any company as long as the work is good. After 2 to 3 years, you should be able to switch to the a better company. Does it?
Like yeah, okay, whether whoever just do the advanced the UVM as you have been mentioned, whether the guy is be helpful to just attach 2 years of experience, and whether he will get a job and he can able to just I mean just can able to work properly with the experience of 2 years, like whether it will be possible or like how it will be.
Okay. His question, let me explain. He's saying if you do advanced UVM, his point was what he was doing. Someone wanted to do a DV freshers course plus UVM advanced. Then can I apply as 2 years experience? I would say no need of this also. You can even go as a, with this itself, you can go as a 2 years experience person with this much itself. I told you, right? With 8 months of this effort, you gain an expertise on par with 2 years person. The difference is how do you learn the subject? Means in the same 30 people, I mean, forget this room. During your BTech, there was a classroom of 30-40 people. You know, right, how someone was able to learn more out of the same lecture, same teacher, same classroom, same college. Then there was a person who was not able to learn anything also. That's the same difference here. But if you ask me, our DV freshers course itself would be sufficient for you to gain a 2 years experience person. How can I say that? I have people who are hired from our institute. Then those people are, their profile is changed for a 2 years experience level in the companies. Then they place you at the place them at the clients, Qualcomm, AMD, Intel kind of companies. So they don't do really lot of things. I mean, lot of expertise they gain at the institute and they are trained additionally. So if you ask me, do you need to do UVM advanced? You don't need to do. Learn DV freshers only in a good depth. You'll learn. I mean, how? What is the point here is the projects that you do. These projects you see here, Ethernet MAC verification or verification IP development, memory verification, or these kind of projects. This will give you that enough exposure to work at 2 years experience level. I mean, if you ask 2 years experience level person, do they do any innovative things in company? No, they do the same thing in a more efficient manner. So this structured learning gives you that efficiency, better. I mean, you learn that better way of doing the same things. Does it answer your question?
Yes, yes, thank you. And like whether I'm not a EC background, I'm just a degree graduate, degree computer science graduate. Whether we work out for
Degree
this
means
course for
what is your what is your degree?
BSc computer science.
BSc, then don't go for VLSI training. Companies don't hire BSc people. That's how the
If I
companies work.
just keep additional 2 years of experience, whether will it get work out?
That is something we'll discuss. Please call me after the uh, session. I can tell you
Yes,
what
yes,
works and what
sorry.
doesn't work.
Okay, yeah. Could you please just provide me some number to just contact you?
Yeah, you talk to this person. Number I have given right down. Okay, you can ask them for my number or whatever. You can connect with them. They will give you the details also. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, no, sorry. Thank you.
Uh, Okay. You do corporate training at Samsung. I have done corporate training for 20 plus companies. One of them being Samsung. I mean, corporate trainer is nothing like very big job. Uh, there are only hardly 5 corporate trainers for VLSI. I mean, you understand, right? Given an option, everyone wants to be in the job. Person like me who has quit the job, if a Samsung wants to have a corporate training, I happen to be one of the options. So I have done it to corporate training and I have done for other companies as well. Okay. Uh, uh, I did my BTech in 2017. Is there any chance as a fresher or experienced? Fresher, less chance. Babbar, please be in mute. Those who have questions, please post all your questions. I'll take it and then I'll answer together. I think I have taken most of the questions. If you feel that your question is missed out, please post it again. I'll take it.
Hello.
One second, I'm taking down all the questions. Any other questions, please post. Okay, I think I have taken down all the questions.
Hello.
Yeah. No, please post your question. That will be very easy. If you, once I'm answering your question, if you still have a doubt, please ask. That will be easy. Okay. Uh, okay. I did my BTech in 2017. Is there any chance as a fresher or experienced one? This course is suitable for me. Okay. Now, since you are a 2017 passed out and you want to get into some kind of job, so for you, it doesn't matter whether you go for software job, embedded job, or VLSI job. But VLSI does offer a good opportunities. The advantage for a 2017 passed out is advantage, I'll tell you. Because of your years gap, because of the 5-6 years gap you have, if you perform well, what some companies do is they will hire you as a fresher. They will internally show you like a 3 years experienced person and they will place you in the client project, which they cannot do with the fresher, right? A 2023 pass out, they cannot do because you are, they cannot show any experience. So that advantage you do have. In all the cases, the final summary is your quality of preparation. If your quality of preparation is good, even if you are a 2005 pass out, you can still get a job. The problem is why 2005 pass out won't get job is they have a lot of personal things, married, kids, lot of things. That's the reason why they can't get job, not that 2005. Not that 2005 means they can't get job. It's just that that effort need to be put and learn the subject. First time I'm seeing this scenario where Mahesh Kumar, please be in mute. Mahesh, please be in mute. Okay. So I
Yeah,
hope,
sorry, sir.
yeah,
Sorry,
I
sir.
hope you, yeah, no problem. I hope you got the answer. Sometimes 2017 pass out is an advantage actually. Okay, where because of your gap companies hire actually. Okay, and what they do internally, they will show experience and they do pay a good salary because you get placed immediately into the client project. But then baseline is your preparation should be very good. 13, we have less than 60% in engineering. Is this a problem during placement? Yes, of course it's a problem. If any companies like HCL comes, Wipro comes, Tech Mahindra comes, they will not consider your profile. But then there are some companies, around 50% of the companies, who are open to hiring people with less than 60 percentage also. But the problem is you don't have other option also, right? Even if you go to software engineering, software jobs, or any job you go, there will always be 50% of the companies who will look at the percentage. So without, my suggestion is you don't have to now that is done, because if you go to software, not like software will not look at percentage, right? Every domain you go, there will be a list of companies who will reject you because of your low percentage. So the best thing you can do is choose any domain and now give the best effort. Now you need to be proactive. The person who has less than 60% must be proactive. What is meant by proactive? If you are not understanding, you should know that I am not understanding. I need to take the institute support. Whichever course you take. I'm not telling that take VLSI course only. Without taking proactive measures, just joining a course, you will not get job because you got 60%, less than 60% for a reason. I mean, somewhere you lack that process, right? You didn't prepare well or something. That gap you need to fill. So you need to take the required support from the teachers or the institute to fill that gap for you to come up to the level. Once we worked at service company, can we join product company after 1 or 2 years? It's more than 1 or 2 years. What is that? Is the expertise that you gain. It may take you 3 years, it may take you even 1 year to gain that. Because when you apply for a job, let's say Qualcomm, what they will see, how does this candidate profile look? What are the kind of projects? Will he be able to work into our projects? Then they don't bother whether you have 1 year experience or 3 years experience. They will hire you. There are many people who work like that. What does it mean is, if you take example of Qualcomm, Intel for that matter, let's say there are 2000 people work into VLSI domain there. Do you think all 2000 will be from a specific college, specific university? No, right? There will be 70% of the people who are from, who have joined from services companies into the Intel. So it is a common thing, very common thing. If you are in a services company, you won't be in service companies lifetime. Based on your level of expertise, you do move. What is the package for verification unit salary for a 3 years experience in product company versus services company? Generally, by 3 years, things are normalized. A product company, you may be getting like 20 to 25 lakhs per annum. At 3 years, also, it's possible, quite possible. In services company, you may be getting anywhere like 12 to 18 lakhs per annum. This is the standard. That difference will be there definitely. Okay, around 20% difference. Okay, this I would not say 20. It could be anywhere like 17 to. If someone works in BB for 1.5 years, is it possible to switch to PD if he wants
Hello,
to?
sir.
Yeah, please ask.
Does the give the
Now, whenever you speak, there is a echo. Please type in your question. It's more easy. Okay. If someone works in DB for 1.5 years, is it possible to switch to PD if he wants to? If he does, will he be considered as a fresher in that domain? Uh, it is possible, of course. It is possible to switch because even at 10 years, people switch. After 10 years of working in a specific domain, you can switch. Only thing is, when you switch into the PD domain, when they are paying salary to you, they will expect you to justify that, right? Let's say they pay you 20 lakhs per annum. If you say no, I will work as a fresher, does it make sense? All right, they won't hire you, right? So what is the expectation when you want to switch from DB to PD? If you want to maintain the same salary, you have to join a training course, learn subject on par with 2 years experience, whatever. Then you switch to PD. If you say no, I will directly switch without anything, then they will give you fresher salary only because you don't contribute as required, right? Placement policy, how it works is institute doesn't give any 100% commitment on the job. It gives commitment till you get a job, we support you. I mean, I will not tell you you will get job in July month, August month. Let's say your training completes in January of 2024. I will not tell you by February you will get a job. I will not tell you that because placement is completely market driven, market condition driven. Having said that, institute doesn't create the opportunities, right? Institute only creates the people who are very well trained for the opportunities. So the opportunities are created in the market. So that preparation will give you, our expectation is that we should give you that confidence where you know that you can get a job. Okay. But having said that, I will not say 6 months is over, 3 months is over, placement will stop. There are scenarios where market was very down in 2019, very down actually. Okay. In 2021, the picked up. I mean, everyone, just anyone got placed. There also we supported people from 2018, 2019 also we supported. So thing is, sometimes because of the market conditions, we cannot place people. So in those cases, we continue to provide them the support. Let's say if they say, can I come to institute and utilize the resources? Yes, you do come. We will never say no. Okay. You want to talk to the trainer and get your support, we are always open to that. Okay, I'm not telling for sake of telling, because I understand from a student perspective also. We do provide, but then we have, as an institute, we have our own limitations. Okay. What is the package of verification in its salary? Okay, I think this we have answered. In if functional verification course for experience, is it possible that classes can happen in weekdays? Yes, it is possible. I told you, right? Even that 6 weeks training you are attending, that 6.5 months experience course you attend, system verilog can be attended full week, UVM can be attended full week, even industry standard projects you can attend full week, because it is the same schedule that is done for the freshers also. So the experience course can also be attended in full week. But who will attend experience course? The person who is already working, right? So hence we generally keep the course to be weekends only for them. But if you want to attend full week, it is possible. Someone asked, I am attending weekends, can I attend weekdays also? It is possible, as long as people don't misutilize the course. We don't have any problem with giving you that additional support. What about RTL design part? See, RTL design is done as part of our training. The course name itself is RTL design and verification, because you need some level of designing expertise also. So there, when we teach Verilog, there you get exposure to get expertise with RTL design as well. We will be doing around 5 to 6 projects. See, in these projects, synchronous and asynchronous FIFO, SPI controller, interrupt controller, parallel in serial out. This is all about RTL coding only. See, RTL coding, design, design. This is all to gain expertise with RTL coding.
Sir, apart from these projects, does any big project also we do like related to PCI or USB or something like that?
See, what we do is Ethernet MAC itself is a complex project actually.
Oh, okay,
Is
sir. Okay, I didn't
it
see
in
this.
itself is a current complex project. What as an institute we keep doing is at least once every 1.5 years we keep changing the project, main project. Right now we don't
Okay,
do this. Right now I'm not doing this project. I'm doing USB core verification.
okay, sir.
This is not the project as of now. Reason is I don't want all 100 resumes to have same exact projects. I
Yes,
know an
yes.
institute who since 2010 till 2023, you take any resume, let's say the resume in one of the student in 2010, one of the student resume in 2023, the project will be same. I don't want that to be the case. So we keep changing the project. I mean, every 1.5 year I have been changing the project. For me, the advantage is it creates more projects for me actually. So when I do that, what happens is this kind of projects gets built up for me. Where is it? DMA controller, Ethernet MAC, USB core. This more projects gets created. So I may do after another 1 year, I may do a new project, which increases my list of courses also. Yeah, I hope it answers your question. See, it's not the topic that you do, it's the depth to which you do is what is important. I mean, when I'm saying, let's say I'm currently doing USB project, this is the one I'm talking about, USB core system erlang and UVM verification. In this project, you learn this entire exposure, where starting from the design specification, how to learn architecture and interface, everything, how to develop verification plan, how to develop test plan, how to list down the coverage points, how to develop test bench architecture. Then till the time you do coverage closure, you learn everything. So many of you probably won't be able to understand this as of now, because you are new to everything that is written here. But probably when we do this project, you will be able to appreciate this. This will be a very important differentiating factor, even for your learning, when you compare with some other institutes also. I mean, this is something doesn't happen in other institute. Reason is, I'm our institute is not like any big thing. It's the amount of thing we teach, or the quality we teach is the proportion with the time we spend. Let's say someone spends 5 months, we can only teach what is specific to 5 months only. You cannot compress 1 year course into 5 months, right? What will happen? You won't be able to learn so much in 5 months. There we decided that the only solution is what? We have to increase the duration. We have that flexibility, we have the trainers, and we have the space and the resources to increase, so we purposefully increased it. But having said that, not to impact the placement, there are people who get placed after 5 months itself actually. uh, yeah, apart from your course, do we need to study LRM? For LRM means what? Language reference manual. For UVM and SV, are they enough? Actually, for most of the requirements, our course would be sufficient. Any course you take of ours, let's say if I take SV course, it's a very detailed course. My SV presentation runs for almost 726 slides, which is done over, and each slide is not like one point. Each slide has a lot of detailed content. I'm trying to split it into two slides, because too much text makes it very boring. We're trying to make it more interesting. But even with this, it is 726 slides. So we try to go deep. That's where I said, right? There may be an institute which completes the SV in 1 month. It is possible. It is possible to complete in 1 month also. But purposefully, we make sure that we go for at least 2 months. Because as a student, for you, doesn't matter whether you spend 6 months or 9 months. 3 months doesn't make big difference, but your quality of learning is what makes a difference, right? Instead of saying I just completed the course, or rather you say I spent more time but I got a better quality of learning. That's what makes the big difference. That's what is our main intention is also. uh, I want to do MS in VLSI. Is this course helpful to do job in USA, or do you know any job in VLSI field? Okay. There are many students who do our course while pursuing MS, even after completing MS. I will give you a simple advantage. I'll give you some simple scenarios. Uh, many times, the difference between a person is pursuing MS in US, the difference between he getting a good job and not getting a good job could be our VLSI course. Because during their MS, they do the same subject. All of them do the same subject. When they go to the job, the difference is what is the additional skill set you have got. Our course helps you with that additional skill set. I mean, our course is definitely more, provides a lot more value addition than universities in US. They're top, They're very good. They're assignment oriented, but they don't go to the depth that we teach. Because for us, it is the only source of business. For them, there are hundreds of things which US universities can do to generate the revenue. So I have to do my one or two things in depth. So this has been the case. I have seen cases where people have got $140,000 also as a fresher, MS fresher. Okay, after MS, she was able to get into Intel with that kind of jobs. Okay, it could be the differentiating factor. I mean, even now, if you ask, do I need to do after my MS? No, not required. Even now you can do. Why it's beneficial is you can choose your MS project aligning with industry project, industry requirements. By doing a basic course, you don't need to do entire 8 months course. You do Verilog course alone, that would be sufficient. Do you know any job opportunities in USA in VLSI field? You don't need to say, because every job starts from USA only. Every job starts from USA or Europe only because we have less cost here. Things move there. A lot of job work happens in USA, and you can get very good jobs in USA. The people who work at USA, to be frank, they're very efficient, very efficient. I mean, the best of the people go there. I'm not telling anything negatively about our people here. Every person you talk there who work into VLSI is exceptionally good, actually. Every person there. Okay, that's why they're paid like that. I mean, someone who is paid 8 lakhs here, same person, similar work they do, they get a better salaries because they perform at that level, actually. Because I personally interact with the people who work in US. I teach them sometimes. I support them with their work. Like I provide them 1 to 1 hour support, 1 hour support level like that. There I know what is the level at which they, as a fresher, 1 year experienced person, the kind of work they do is similar to what a 3 4 years experienced person does here. Next, yeah, to answer your question, yes, VLSI course will be useful. Regarding the UVM training, I think it's divided into two parts: main course and the advanced course. Main course is what is required for a fresher. Advanced course is for experienced people. Okay. Yeah, I think that much. If you have any further queries, please post your question. We are done pretty much. May I know the evaluation test process of evaluation test for online students? It's the common process for everyone. Evaluation test happens at the end of every subject. Digital design, Verilog language, Verilog projects, system Verilog, UVM, Linux projects. At every stage, evaluation test will be there. Evaluation test will be done through a kind of Google form. We'll send you Google form. You have to fill it. You have to attempt the answers and submit. Then our trainer will check everything and will give you. Many times we keep it multi-choice, multiple choice. Sometimes coding based also. Okay. And idea of evaluation test is not to discourage or encourage anything. Idea is to identify the people in their learning capability. Someone who is not good, idea is to support them and bring them up to the required level. Okay. Next, got it right? I hope you understood. It's the same process for everyone. Offline students, online students, it's the same process, because we don't go by the paper thing. I mean, offline students come here, fill the paper. No, because in many cases, even when you go to interviews, everything is online only. So here itself, we have to prepare you in that direction. Layout design, I would suggest please join tomorrow's session, because it comes into backend domain. So you will be able to, our trainer will be able to help you more with the layout design in the next tomorrow's session. Next, for DFT weekend online course, are the classes live? Yes, live. Do we need to view the weekdays course? No. In case of DFT weekend course, just attending weekend training is sufficient, because in DFT weekend what we do is morning will be theory, post lunch will be lab sessions, both Saturday and Sunday. I have I have done +2 diploma in PUC. I have no. If someone is from diploma, I strongly discourage from taking VLSI course, because companies already so much competition is there with BTech BE students. Then companies with so many options, companies don't consider diploma, right? If already 10 people are available with BTech BE background, so they will not consider the diploma people. So better not to take VLSI course if you are from diploma course. Rather, you should do a BTech BE in online as distance education and then apply. Yes, placement wise, yes, there will be a problem. I mean, chance of getting job will be very less, 5 to 10% chance only. Actually. For e-learning course, is all sessions are pre-recorded. All modules are available at same time in e-learning. All are from you or other trainers also. See, all are pre-recorded, of course. All modules are not available at same time. It's like if you do BTech, if I give you all 8 semester books at once, it will be confusing, right? Which book to study, which book to keep it in the desk, I mean inside. Okay, there what we do is we give in the same manner. First we give phase 1 related courses, then we do evaluation test for you. We check how much you have learned in the very log, how much you learned in digital. If your learning is satisfactory, then we give you phase 2 related courses, like that. Most of the videos are from me only. Most of the videos are from me only. I think we are done. Another 2 3 questions will be done. I think I have answered this question less than 60% during placements. Laptop specification for training purpose. I'll answer this. I think we have listed all the questions. Okay. Okay. Laptop specs. Minimum you should have SSD drive. That is the most important thing. Okay. My observation has been i3, i5, or what is AMD one? Ryzen R5, whatever. Ryzen 5 would be sufficient. Preferably 8 GB RAM. It should be sufficient. But most importantly, SSD. Okay. Which is the course? Which course is
Sir,
better?
sorry for interrupting.
Yeah.
Sir, can you please repeat the 27th one question?
27. Yeah, what I said 27 is someone with a diploma background, companies generally don't select them because when the companies come to us from a hiring requirements, they say they want minimum BTech or BE. Because what happens is if they want to hire 5 people, in the market already 20 people are there from BTech BE background. So then they're okay to hire from BTech BE, right? Why should they hire diploma? That's the company perspective. Okay. So that is where if you are from a diploma background, I don't encourage you to do VLSI course.
Sir, and also I did BE also, sir.
Also you.
Sir, I have done BE in electronics and communication and diploma in
Oh yeah,
electronics and
okay. If you have
communication.
done BE, then yes, you can. I mean, yeah, See, as I said, even if you have less than 50% in PUC, it doesn't matter. I told you, right? See, there are companies who hire you based on your subject expertise, not just based on your percentage. The companies will hire you based on your expertise with the subject. If you have a BTech, BE, this percentage won't be a problem also.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Let's answer this question. Uh, which course is for better for freshers to build career according to your knowledge, future scope? See, it's like in VLSI. VLSI is about making chips, right? Is about making chips. You think from that perspective, everyone is required in the process, right? You need a RTL engineer, you need a verification engineer, you need a physical design engineer. Uh, so the domain, as long as VLSI domain is good, career jobs will be there. If artificial intelligence automates the flow, it starts doing the work of a verification engineer, it starts doing the work of physical design. Except for that scenario, every domain will be good. There is a chance, you don't know. Okay, right? So you got it right. So my okay, to I think I didn't answer your question to the point. uh, you should go by your career, your skill set. If you are interested in programming kind of job, you go with front end domain. Then you may say, I don't know what is my programming expertise. You start with a course randomly. Start with any course randomly. You try for 2 months. You like it, you continue. Otherwise, you switch the domain. That's the best suggestion I can give you, because your perspective is different, my perspective is different. Because when I started my career, I had a clarity, okay, I'm good with programming because I have done some programming in my BTech. But I don't know your perspective, so I can't suggest you. What is the best suggestion I can give you? Start any course, randomly start any course. You start FPGA for 2 months. You try it. If you like it, you continue. Otherwise, you switch to any other domain, because during the 2.5 months you would have got exposure, right? What is what? Based on that, you can always switch the domain. But career wise, everything is good. I mean, even I had a better opportunities. Even my friend who is into DFT PD, they also had a good opportunities. It was all driven by how do you perform in the job. I mean, it's not like DFT means less salary, PD means high salary, nothing like that. They are all equally paid, and the opportunities also are equal in nature. If we Next question, if we have IT for 2 years, IT experience for 2 years, is this useful for me to get placement as an experienced person in the front end domain? If you are IT, if you are currently working in, let's say, Wipro, HCL, or Tech Mahindra, any such companies where there is a VLSI or embedded systems division, then you can easily use the same company work experience, learn the subject on par with a 2 years experienced person. Let's say in Wipro, you are a software engineer, you learn the subject here, become as good as a 2 years experienced person, and show yourself as a 2 years experienced person at Wipro and switch the domain. That is possible. But if you are from, let's say, completely software, let's say Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, where there is no VLSI, there is no embedded systems, in that case, there will be a difficulty to get as an experienced person, because you cannot convince the company, right, that I worked in Wipro. You may say, what about my designation? Hiring company don't bother so much. They bother more about your skill set. If I hire you, will you be able to perform at 2 years experience level? As long as you do, they don't bother. Next, for 1.5 year experienced person in post silicon validation, which domain is good to shift, DFT or DV? Again, same thing. If you are for you, the best thing is what you have already experience. That makes your getting a new job easier, because experienced person opens up more opportunities. I would suggest DFT. Why? DFT completion, whole DFT expertise can be gained in 400 hours of time. To gain expertise with DV, you need at least 800 to 900 hours. Overall, including the time you spend in the class, including the time you spend outside, it requires so much time, but you will become expert. If you spend 800, 900 hours, you will become expert. DFT don't have so much things. If you ask me, PD also requires a lot of time. PD also requires at least 700 to 800 hours of time. Because you need to read a lot of things about semiconductors, fabrication, technology concepts, lot of things. DFT is the easiest thing to prepare from a job perspective, because in DFT no need to learn Verilog in depth, no need to know what is semiconductor also. Even if you don't know what is CMOS, you can still work in DFT, because DFT is a group of techniques actually. How to do scan, how to do ATPG, automatic test pattern generation, how to do built-in self-test, which don't have anything to do with the semiconductors technology. Okay, so why I suggested DFT, because you are already working, you will have your own schedule. With that schedule, taking out time will be difficult. So in that, DFT will have better chance for you to prepare and get a job. And it's close to what you do in post silicon validation. Use the test vectors to do that. Now you're doing the little more research into how the test vectors are generated. Next. Do they give bonus and share? Yes. Every product company gives a bonus and they give the stock options. Uh, how about placements and initial package for candidates joining into DFT freshers? Again, the baseline is simple. A services company, wherever you go, they pay between 3 lakhs to 6 lakhs per annum. Product company, mostly the salary itself starts with 6. It can go up to 15 lakhs per annum. So it doesn't matter whether it is BFT, DV, PD or anything. This is in generally the range that exists. Which software tools we'll be using? We use Synopsys tools and Mentor Graphics tools. Of that, if I take DFT for example, for DFT, Mentor Graphics tool is the leader. I mean, in the market, 85% of the companies, 90% of the companies use Mentor Graphics Tessent tool. For example, there is a tool called as Tessent. In that case, we go with Mentor Graphics. Depending upon the specific domain, let's say in PD, we use Synopsys tools because it is the leader. So we have tools from both the companies based on what is specific domain we are teaching. See, for DFT, we have tools from Synopsys also, we have from Mentor also, but we go with Mentor Graphics tools only. For working professional, due to work, if not able to complete course within time, so will the validity be extended? Yes, it is extended. So that is where we give flexibility to the student to do at their convenience. We have cases where people have completed the course in 5 months also, who have done course over 12 months also. Point is that we want to, as I said, baseline is I don't run for my convenience. We run for student convenience, because you should feel good about the institute, right? I mean, you should not feel that they are troubled me, right? You should, after 1 year, if I ask how is your experience with the institute, you should tell some positive things rather than telling negatives, all negatives only. So we try to make sure that we keep that in mind. People should have good things to say about the institute. How can I give you that? By giving you flexibility, right? So we, at least that we give you, as long as people don't misutilize it. What is starting? I think we have discussed that. Can we opt for protocol training course parallelly, or timing for both courses conflict? If you want, you can do that parallelly. I don't encourage. I mean, his question is what? Can we do freshers course and protocols parallelly? Not required, because during the freshers training itself, you learn the protocols. It will become too hectic for you to handle actually. Doing too many things becomes too hectic for you to handle. Probably once you join the course for 2-3 weeks, you will feel what I'm telling. Okay. Where is the institute? You can search in the Google, right? I will suggest it's in Outer Ring Road, Banaswadi. I mean, I think if the question is about which city, Bangalore, not in any other location. Okay, I think that's most probably the question is actually. Uh, for a DFT course, it was informed that first 2 month basic course will be daily classes. DFT course third month will be weekend. It's not weekend courses. It will be done during the weekdays. So what happens is, from the third month onwards, we divide the people into two categories: the freshers and the experienced people. For freshers, it's a 6 days course. Theory sessions happen on Saturday and Sunday. The lab and interview sessions will happen during the weekdays. So what happens for both the freshers and experience, we keep the theory sessions on Saturday and Sunday. For working professionals, in the afternoon after 2:30 to 6:30, we do the labs. The same lab sessions are done during the weekdays for the weekday students. You're getting the point, right? We do the theory sessions common in Saturday and Sunday. The labs are done or weekdays for the full week student. Uh, I mean, we have one of the best DFT courses. I mean, there are not many institutes, hardly 2, 3 institutes. We have one of the best DFT, not because of the content is one thing, it's because of the kind of trainer we have. The person who is there, she will be so concerned about the students. She will, I mean, very concerned trainer actually. To be precise. Okay. The trainer makes a difference, right? The passion of the trainer to teach you makes a difference. Okay. How about opportunities? I think this I have explained. Opportunities wise, uh, I'll be frank, not as many as functional verification opportunities for DFT people, not many, as many. Let's say DV, I get 10 jobs a month, for example. I won't get 10 for DFT. I'll get 3 companies in a month, for example. But advantage is less people will be there in the market. I mean, even in the institute, less people will be there. Even in the overall job market, less people will be there. There, you still stand a chance of getting job. One important thing you have to remember is you may not get job immediately always. You have to be always prepared for little longer duration. Let's say your training is done in 6 months in main part. You should not be thinking that I'm not getting job. You should be rather thinking another 2, 3 months, how can I become more expert with the subject? That should be driving your time. I mean, it's easy for me to say because I have everything. I mean, I'm settled, so I can say 100 things. But in your case, also, you should look at that perspective only. I mean, I have completed training. Another 2, 3 months is there. What more I can do to become expert with the subject? That's the perspective you should learn. You will get a job. Okay. Yeah. For weekend, old sessions will be provided or record. Old means, see, I would have recorded, let's say, 6 to 8 months back, for example. What is the advantage of recorded sessions is they're filtered sessions. Let's say in between some noise was there, 5, 10 minutes that there was glitches, we would have removed that. I wouldn't give 3 hours sessions. My session went for 3 hours. I wouldn't give 3 hours video. Split it into 15 minutes one topic, split it into 25 minutes another topic. You will get that kind of filtered topic. Which one is better? Tell me. A 3 hours very long boring topic, or one which is distributed as 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes based on the topic? This one will be a better experience for you to learn. So content doesn't change, right? System Verilog is same in 2005 also. 2023 is also same except for 5 to 10% change. Okay. But I'm not giving very old videos. We keep updating the video list. But the most important thing about weekend training is not the videos only. The live support. There will be a live support every Saturday and Sunday where the trainer will be tracking your progress. That gives you the seriousness in your preparation because someone is tracking you, someone is asking you what you are doing, what support you need. Will AI get hit the VLS industry? What will be the problem for employees? That is too early to say anything, but there is always a chance 10 to 20% jobs will be hit. Because whatever the way we can think, artificial intelligence can think, then they can automate that part of the job. So what is that you can do? You should not worry. You should prepare on building the quality of your preparation. Again, if you don't have that basics, you have to take the support and come up to that level. Two things: either you are able to do by yourself. If you are not able to do, you take support and come to that level where you are not replaceable. Got it right? You should come to a level where you are not replaceable, and it is possible. It's possible. I mean, that's where someone will be there. Like, we cannot make you, top class, but we can definitely bring you up to a level where you become, you are very good and you do the things properly. May I know will there be group projects for that project? May I know, will there be mentorship? There is no group projects as such. It will be individual projects only. Only thing is, you get guidance at every stage. Let's say you're doing a project, you're stuck with something, the trainer will support you definitely with that project, and everything will be guided step by step. Uh, because, for example, if I have to do this project, I'm teaching, showing this USB course. If I have to do personally, I will finish off this in 30 hours, entire course, teaching everything. But then what I do is, instead of 30, I teach it over 45 hours to keep it slow. Along with these 45 hours, there will be dedicated lab sessions also, where the trainer will be telling, develop this, run this, at step by step. The biggest problem that happens in the courses is, by the time we reach this stage, the student lose motivation. I don't know what is the problem, but keeping up that motivation is the important thing. Yeah, I think that answers most of question. There is no group projects, but even the individual projects you do will be good for you to gain the required expertise. Any other questions? Yeah, someone asked printed copy material. Yes, we do provide. May I know there be you provide session. Will you provide sessions so that student can use Word in advanced level functional verification? See, this is not done as part of a fresher course. If I call any of my freshers, the best fresher also into the institute, ask him, do you really needed Wordy? He will say no. Because whatever other things he learned, he has so many hundred things to learn out of it actually. Wordy, we do it as part of. Wordy is like, I mean, you may ask, what is Wordy? Verification is about debugging actually. I mean, when something fails, you need to debug easily. What is causing the failure to happen? So how do you quickly catch that? Wordy is a tool which lets you trace the information quickly. Let's say this is the issue. Where is it coming from? Where is that issue coming from? So you can easily trace you can root cause, this is causing this issue. So Wordy is a tool which makes it easy. It is a tool from Synopsys company. That, to our understanding, it's not required from a fresher level, but for experienced people, we do cover Wordy. Just give me 2 minutes, 1 minute, I'll be back. Okay, so uh, will you provide sessions so that, okay, I think any other questions? UVM advanced batch. Can you post what is your question specific to UVM advanced batch? You said some students complete course in 5 months, but some take 10 months. How is it possible? Live sessions will be common for both, right? 5 months and 10 months, I was talking about the e-learning course. The question was told in the context of recorded videos. I give you recorded videos, some person can watch it in 1 day also, some person may take 10 days also. That is the perspective. For regular batch students, it always takes 8 months, entire course. But in some cases, it extends to 10 months also, 12 months also. Why? You don't do well in Verilog, you don't know anything in Verilog. What do I do? I make you repeat compulsorily, because you will not be able to learn system Verilog properly if I let you go further. There it can go to 10 months also. It can go to 12 months. It is better to make you do 10 months or 12 months rather than just leaving you in the market without any knowledge, without teaching you anything. You didn't learn anything in BTech. You didn't learn properly in school. You don't learn here also. Then what will you do? Rather, we hold you for another 1 year, make you better, and leave you into the market. At least you will find something. That's the perspective. Any other questions? Uh, will the placement process be same for live session as well as self-paced? It's same. I mean, we don't differentiate the student based on what mode of training he's doing and what kind of thing. Okay, whether it is live training, classroom, online, offline, e-learning, everything, the student gets the same support. But there are some minimum subjects he should have done here. Let's say someone says, I'll only come and do the project, will you give placement support? The problem is I don't know their expertise with system Verilog UVM, so then I cannot consider them. Okay, we tell that minimum to get support in verification, you have to do minimum SVUV. You don't do Verilog also, no problem. But that minimum you need to do. Yes, to answer this question, yes, same support you will get. Can you please address question number 28? Yeah, as I said, for e-learning courses, all sessions are pre-recorded. Yes, that is correct. Just that the videos will be properly split based on topic basis. Let's say if I show you my Verilog course. I'm just randomly taking Verilog course. This Verilog course videos is what you will get as a e-learning student. It will be split based on individual topic, GVIM. Okay, this video will be 2 hours. Okay, whereas other videos could be shorter. This 2 hour 15 minutes. But typically, further you go, this will be smaller, 40 minutes, around 1 hour 22 minutes. This another 54 minutes, this 6 minutes. Based on the topic depth, we cover the video. Each topic will be split. Parameter is one topic, memory is one topic, memory backdoor access is one topic. This kind of split you don't get in the live videos, right? If I give you 4 hours video, it's a 4 hour video, no content, nothing. So that advantage you get in the e-learning, of course. Of course, you get all the materials here, schedule, the presentations, assignments, everything you can get here. Any other questions? Okay. So if you don't have any other questions, we will end the sessions here. Offline students, any questions? Okay. We will be starting the batch from the Monday onwards. Again, those who are attending online, we will be starting the batch from the Monday onwards. In case you would like to enroll, you please complete your enrollment before Monday.